last year, and I think both of those guys learned a lot from that season. And I know Dan has learned to prepare himself differently to prepare his team.
Nuggets start with the ball. Williams cuts in, and the Nuggets strike first.
Well, just a great play for Reggie Williams, cutting without the ball. The young players got to do that. Move without the ball, get a good layup.
Nuggets concerned with Richmond and also Tisdale inside. There's a near steal, but it goes off of Mutombo. You will see the Nuggets swarming on defense, and that's when they will be at their best, the defense getting the offense going.
Well, I think what the Nuggets want to do, they want to help out, except for Mitch Richmond. They got to stay on him. He's such a great shooter.
The steal. Raouf galloping out for the Nuggets, making the moves on Hurley. He pulls the trigger. Hammering the boards, Ellis and Mutombo. The Kings like to run, but they're not a good rebounding team, which of course affects their running game. Simmons in traffic. Brewer pulls the trigger, and it's wiped away by LaFonso Ellis. The Nuggets last year, the top rebounding team in the NBA. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. Mutombo goes one-on-one on Brewer. Has nothing. Mutombo gets it back. 10 on the shot clock. Wide open Reggie Williams. He fires. And Richmond runs it down, but can't hold on. A crowd of 17,317. A sellout in Sacramento. They have sold out every game since moving here 9 years ago. Tonight is their 330th consecutive sellout at the Arco Arena. Well, this is Arco 2. Arco won the first 3 years, held a mere 10,000. Bryant Smith is guarded by Richmond. That is a classic matchup there. The Nuggets just 7 seconds off the shot clock. Mutombo tries to go to work against the big Brewer. Banging the boards. Raouf inside. Over Brewer. Mutombo rustled away, and it'll be a jump ball. Ed Rush calls the jump, and he gets a standing ovation from Mutombo, the only person in this arena applauding that decision by the referee.
Well, the Nuggets are being very active on the boards. Chris Jackson got a rebound. You see Mutombo fighting Randy Brewer for that rebound, so that was a good play.
On the tip of his game by the Sacramento Kings, Hurley, who led Duke to 2 national championships. NCAA all-time assist leader, and as a rookie trying to be the quarterback. Richmond, 2 men on him. Brewer, the one-hander. And the Nuggets trying to run. Raouf into the hands of Steph. Picked up by Lionel Simmons. Ellis banging in. Over 2 men. And it turns into an assist. Jammed home by Dikembe Mutombo. And the Nuggets are off to a 4-0 start.
Well, Dikembe did a very smart thing that time. He went to the basket once he saw Randy Brewer double-teaming LaFonso Ellis. That's a perfect example of what you're supposed to do without the ball. Go to the basket.
Reaching over, LaFonso Ellis trying to deny Wayman Tisdale at the baseline. What's going on between those two ball players?
Well, Raymond Tisdale loved the right side of the box, and LaFonso Ellis knows that. He's going to bump him, bang him, try to get him off that spot, make him do something different.
The steal by Williams, racing with Simmons. He's got it, and he's fouled, and the Nuggets bust out to a 6-0 lead. Reggie Williams gets his second field goal. He makes the steal and goes coast to coast.
Well, Reggie has good ball handling. He sees he's got a layup. All he has to do is just concentrate. Lionel Simmons fouls him on the arm. 3-point play.
Williams completes the 3-pointer, and he has 5. Reggie going through the preseason like a 6-year veteran.
Oh, yeah.
And now he is ready to go to work. The Nuggets certainly having no concerns. Lionel Simmons, there is the block shot. Raouf pushing the ball down the floor. Williams on the fly, lays it in, and the Nuggets have soared to a 9-0 lead. Timeout, says Gary St. Jean, as the Nuggets go to their bench for a 22nd, and it's a standing ovation from the Nuggets bench. Timeout as the Nuggets lead it 9-0, and Reggie Williams has 7 of the 9 points. Get behind the wheel of the 4-wheel drive Jeep Grand Cherokee or the Sporty Eagle for points. And he averaged 9 points a game in preseason. He has 7 already in the first 3 minutes. Richmond tries to maneuver. Tisdale is there. Hurley down the lane. Gift wraps to Tisdale. And finally, after 3 minutes and 6 seconds, the Kings are on the board. And Hurley gets his first NBA assist. Tisdale fires it out to Richmond. The Kings running from behind. That was Brian Stiff, but they say Richmond just lost it out of bounds. So the Nuggets get the possession.
Well, that's what both teams wants to do tonight, Al. They both want to run, get out, and get some easy baskets. And what you have to do in this game, you can't set up in a half-court set all the time.
Ellis pulls his way in, and he gets the whirl. Alfonso Ellis, his first hoop of 93-94. And it's an 11-2 start for the Nuggets. Tisdale busts in. He's got it. And he shows the emotion, trying to bring the Kings back before this one gets away from them early.
Well, we talked to Alfonso Ellis before the game, and this is one of the things that he wanted Wayman Tisdale not to do. He wants him to turn to the baseline to take that little jump instead of getting it in the middle, and then that way you get in foul trouble also.
Tisdale in his 9th season out of Oklahoma. In 1985, Patrick Ewing was the first pick in the draft by the New York Knicks, and then the Indiana Pacers selected Wayman Tisdale, number 2. And he has all 5 of Sacramento's points. 4 minutes into the season, the Nuggets on the road. The home openers Sunday night against the Los Angeles Clippers. Raouf buries it from outside for his first field goal of the year. Hurley with the quick moves and shows Mahmoud a crossover dribble. Again, they go into the money, and Tisdale the steal. Here is Stiff weaving his way away from traffic. Ellis guarded by the big man Brewer. Raouf short, but Williams, the slinky, gets in there. The Nuggets reset. Ellis wants it again against 7'4" Randy Brewer. Stiff. Crowd called to travel. 10 still on the shot clock. Ellis. No foul. Brewer heaves it out to Richmond, who is yet to score. Hurley fires. Hurley shot 31% from the field in the offseason. Not one of his strong points coming out of Duke. And you see that heavy pick by Ellis on Hurley. It freed Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf.
Well, that time Bobby Hurley didn't know the pick was there. Chris Jackson, Raouf got around him and got to the basket.
Now remember, Raouf ended last season by hitting 59 straight foul shots. And he goes to the foul line, and his first foul shot is good. And an ovation from Dan Issel as a timeout is called. And the streak is up to 60 and growing, 3 shy of the Nuggets' all-time record of 63 set by Dan Issel. We'll check in now with Greg Mills back in the studio. And the Nuggets lead at 15-5. Tisdale over Mutombo. Tisdale not known for a great rebound as a rebounder, but when it's on the offensive boards and it could lead to a basket by Tisdale, he's there.
Well, both of those guys are banging really hard, and I think he got Alfonso Ellis under the basket a little too deep and was able to get that offensive board.
Brewer helps out to try to take Ellis, working on Tisdale, and that leaves Mutombo open, and Dikembe has 4 points. It's the Nuggets 17 and Wayman Tisdale 7. There's the whistle to slow this one down. Joe DeRosa along with Greg Willard and Ed Rush are the officials. And that foul has not been indicated yet. Dan Issel trying to figure it out. And we get our first look at the Nuggets' first-round draft pick out of Wake Forest, the All-American Rodney Rogers, ACC Player of the Year, leading scorer, and Alfonso Ellis, who just picked up his second personal foul, sits on the bench. And Rodney Rogers gets his first call. Brewer coming over as Rogers, and he comes up with his first personal foul.
Well, that was a good foul by Rodney that time. Randy had a wide-open layup, and you'll see right here he has a wide-open layup, but he makes sure he doesn't even get the shot off. He grabs his wrist right there. Takes away the three-point play.
Rogers at 6'7", 260 pounds. The Nuggets now with the luxury when Ellis gets into foul trouble to come off the bench with Rogers or Brian Williams, who's picked up from Orlando. 2 players that all of a sudden have made the Nuggets incredibly young and big and strong inside. Brewer, not one of the better foul shooters in the NBA. Tisdale, the little lefty, and he has all 9 of the Kings' points.
Well, that's just target practice for Wayman Tisdale. When his range is like 15 to 18 feet, and he has a sweet little jump shot.
Well, I was saying if not for Wayman Tisdale tonight, it'd be 17-0. We're halfway through the first quarter, and a terrific start so far for the Nuggets. Raouf makes the quick move, but Hurley makes the steal. And cut off and fouled. So Rogers gets 2 fouls inside a matter of seconds. And he tries to cut off a guy he's seen quite a bit in college ball, Bobby Hurley.
Well, both of those guys are from the ACC. I thought Raouf got fouled here a little bit. But Hurley gets a great steal, then Rodney Rogers tries to draw the charge and picks up his second foul.
Hurley, a tough customer. He led the Kings in steals in preseason with 17. So now Rogers goes after a cameo appearance, and here is another huge Nugget in 6'11", 260-pound Brian Williams, and he has STEAL written all over him, coming from Orlando for Todd Lichty and Anthony Cook. So Rogers, that is a quick first stint as a pro, not memorable.
Well, there's plenty more games left in this league, so I'm sure Rodney will remember his first NBA action, and I'm sure it's going to get much better for him.
But there are a few bruised bodies out there, the Sacramento Kings, after taking those fouls.
Yes.
Hurley into the scoring column as a pro. Stiff, wrapped up by Simmons. 5:30 left in the first quarter. Nuggets lead it by 6. Williams, the hot man, swish.
It was a great ball movement that time by the Nuggets. They looked inside to Mutombo. Reggie came off a pick on the other side. Great pass.
19-11, Nuggets by 8 in the opener of the 93-94 season. Tisdale now tries to go over Williams, and Wayman Tisdale scorching in the first quarter. He has 11 of the 13 Sacramento points. 5 minutes left in the first. Hurley said he found out a little bit about playing NBA defense in the preseason when Raouf, with a crossover dribble, Hurley said as good as Tim Hardaway.
Oh, yeah. Raouf has a great crossover dribble just like Tim Hardaway.
And now Sacramento on the run. This is where they are at their best. Hurley, the turnover. He had more turnovers than any Sacramento King, although he's playing up to the coach in that one. Gave him a perfect pass.
Well, he handles the ball a lot in the middle, so he's expected to have.
You know what? A lot of these guys also aren't ready for it. Smacked home by Reggie Williams, who starts the season on fire.
That's taking the ball to the hole.
Reggie Williams, the difference, 11 of the 21 points for the Nuggets. He already has scored in this first quarter more points than he averaged per game in preseason. 8-point lead for the Nuggets. Tisdale tries again. Into the waiting arms of Dikembe Mutombo. Mahmoud Abdul-Raouf. There's the crossover dribble. Stith has been quiet on the offensive end. But in the meantime, he has shut out Mitch Richmond. No points for Richmond. And another foul. The Nuggets now have given 5 fouls at that power forward spot in the first quarter. And Scott Hastings hasn't even played yet.
Well, we knew it was going to be a tough physical game. The first game of the season, we may see a lot of turnovers. The referees are getting in shape and getting used to the new season also.
Stiff takes a seat, gets a rest, and Mark Macon is one of the real surprises of the preseason, goes in. Now he will try to tackle Richmond. The dish off by Hurley, the steal by the Nuggets. 3.5 to go in period number 1. Raouf on the run. Pass Brewer and foul. Randy Brewer, who found a taker this year in Sacramento, and finds himself in the starting lineup. Let's check in with Scott, seated under the basket. Scott, that foul wasn't on you, was it?
Unfortunately, I thought I used to have the best seat in the house. This is even better. Dan got a little upset at Rodney. Rodney came in here. You got LaFonso Ellis with 2 fouls. He thought he made a good foul on Brewer, but he was telling him it was a very silly foul over there. But you're going to expect this from Rodney Rogers because he is a rookie in the NBA.
Mahmoud Abdul-Raouf has just tied the Nuggets all-time record for consecutive foul shots made, 63. ties his coach Dan Issel. 4 already here in this first quarter. Mark Macon now heading out. Macon, who showed during preseason terrific judgment with the ball, good shooting. Reggie Williams, the hot man, but he's stripped. Here's Randy Brown off the bench with Spud Webb back to Brown, and they make something happen for Sacramento. The veteran Spud Webb, you know, he can't be too happy now. Prior to game time, he was taken out of the starting lineup in favor of the rookie Bobby Hurley.
Well, I think the coach is trying to light a fire on Spud Webb and also on the Caldwell to get those guys playing up to their capabilities. I think that's why they were removed from the starting lineup.
Mutombo leaves the backboard shaking. 25-15, Nuggets by 10. Nuggets beat Sacramento twice during the preseason. Although Dan Issel warned you didn't see much of Tisdale, and the starters weren't on there together quite often. Randy Brown, the question of whether this third-year man out of New Mexico State was going to play tonight. Strained ligament in his left knee. He had missed 7 straight days of practice, but he has been back in practice the last couple of days.
Well, I talked to Randy before the game, and he had a little sprain of the medial collateral, and he said that he's about 85% healthy.
Brian Williams goes over his man, gets his rebound, and a reverse dunk and a beauty. And it's a 10-point lead for the Nuggets in a timeout. Let's check in now with the G-Man, who is at the boiler room at the Tivoli for the Miller Genuine Draft tip-off party. G?
All right, thanks a lot, Al. And we are live at the boiler room at the Tivoli. Nuggets are red hot. It's red hot. And here, as a matter of fact, the Miller Genuine Draft big-time tip-off happening at 7 bars around Denver, Old Chicago on Market, Applebee's, Bennigan's, Governor's All-Stars, Excalibur's 2, Tubby's All-American. So come on down and join us. We got Denver's biggest prizes. We got Nuggets tickets. We got prizes from Miller Genuine Draft all happening out here right now. Come on down and join us. The boiler room at the Tivoli. We'll be back after this timeout. More Nuggets action on Denver's 2.
First, he tried his luck with a white zonger, then a woolly bugger. He followed that with a teeny-weeny-heeny hawker and a yellow marabou muddler. But when the day was over, Paul had no luck and no dinner. So he stopped to buy dinner and a lotto quick pick. And this time, the big one didn't get away, which has now given him plenty of time to try a silver doctor, a woolly worm, a grizzly king.
Hi, I'm Dan Issel, head coach of the Denver Nuggets. It's a brand new season for the Nuggets. New players, new uniforms, and a brand new logo. Best of all, we've got a new partner, King Soopers. This season, we'll be doing lots of promotions together, but I'm personally excited about working with King Soopers because we share a philosophy of giving back to the community. Now, we'll do everything in our power to bring you a winning season, but one thing's for sure, we're bringing you a winning partner, King Soopers, where their people make the difference.
The new Ski 3 card from Keystone, Breckenridge, and A-Basin offers great lift tickets and prices every day. And it's free. Stop by participating Front Range Conoco stations and register for your Ski 3 card now until November 7th. This is what happened when we left you. Brian Williams, who has tremendous mobility, gets his own rebound over Tisdale by Brewer and stuffs it in on the reverse. A beauty by Williams, the foul by Brewer, and Brian Williams now looks for the three-point play.
Well, I think Coach Dan Issel has told the team we're playing good defense. We're taking care of the ball. Only one area we got to be more concerned with, and that's that second shot that the Kings are getting.
Pete Chilcott, the third-year man out of North Carolina, and Dwayne Coswell, the big man from Temple, in his fourth season, have checked in with Webb and Brown in the backcourt, and Mitch Richmond, who has still not scored. That was a focus for the Nuggets, and they get a grade of an A in this first quarter. And now Richmond, with the rookie Darnell Mee on him, misses. The Nuggets can now send waves at the top shooting guard on the opposition with Stith, Macon, and Darnell Mee, who is coming out of Western Kentucky. And another great surprise for the Nuggets in preseason, and a fine defensive player. All the tools and the size, 6'5", and 175 pounds. Coswell over the back of Mutombo, and that's on Dwayne Coswell, who has a propensity of getting into foul trouble.
I think Darnell Mee reminds me a lot of a player that played for Seattle. And he's a very unselfish player and a good role player. And I think he's going to be a fine addition to the team.
Talking about Nate McMillan?
Nate McMillan from Seattle Supersonics.
All right, checking out the NBA scoreboard, brought to you by Conoco, the hottest brand going. Just about everybody going tonight. The Knicks win in Boston. Philadelphia, Sean Bradley successful in his debut. And Atlanta over Indiana. Those are some of the finals that are in. Kevin Brooks makes an early appearance, and he replaces the red-hot Reggie Williams, who goes out with 11 points. Reggie took 6 shots. He made 5 of them. Mutombo from the foul line. And at 7 points, a quiet but effective start offensively for Mutombo. The Nuggets lead it by 12. There is Kevin Brooks in his 3rd season. The sharpshooter from the outside. Try to see if he can get that shot going. The Nuggets with Macon and me. Brooks, Brian Williams, Mutombo has gone the distance. Macon from 3. And Chilcutt cuts off Mutombo. Now it's Spud Webb. Right into Macon, and Macon is called for the personal foul. Mark Macon looking for the steal. And a tough man to cut off on the crossover dribble, Spud Webb.
Well, Mark did a good thing. You don't want Spud Webb to get in the middle in the paint because he creates so many things for his teammates and for himself.
Spud Webb sinks the first foul shot in his 9th season out of North Carolina State. He was the subject of many trade rumors over the offseason, but starts this year as a Sacramento King, teaming with Bobby Hurley as the point guards. Inside a minute to go. 55 seconds and counting. Mutombo trying to work some of his new moves. The sweeping hook shot. On the boards, Brian Williams keeps it alive nicely to Darnell Mee. Brooks fires for 3 and overfires. Kevin, who hit 3 of 4 from downtown during the preseason, was wide open, had the shot, pulled the trigger, but just a little bit too hard. So it leaves Sacramento with the ball. We have 40 seconds left in the first quarter. Sacramento last year, the 6th highest scoring team in the NBA, 108 points a game. They've been held to 18 in the first quarter at their home court. Spud Webb, who gets his own room.
Well, he got a good pick that time, and he got into the paint. Wide open jump shot, and I think Spud Webb can make that shot.
Williams is 6'11" and shows great mobility, but unable to pull down that high pass. Kings with the last shot. Last year, this team won 25 games. They got out of the gate quickly. They won their first 3, but then Spud Webb went down with an injury, and all the injuries just piled on. No shot for the Sacramento Kings team that has actually developed a pretty good nucleus. One of their top players injured, not playing tonight, Walt Williams, now with a stress fracture of the left leg, but they hope he is back in a week and a half. Jim Less, also the 3-point shooter, is out with a sore leg. Richmond to the line, going for his first point of the evening. He led all scorers in preseason for whatever that may mean, averaging 23 points a game. One of the real fine foul shooters in the league, and the Nuggets have thrown Mitch Richmond off his game.
Well, another key point, Mitch Richmond is the first Sacramento player to ever make the NBA All-Star team, but he wasn't able to play because of a broken thumb.
Which happened 2 days after he was named to the team.
Yeah.
Racing the clock is Macon. Williams can't get it off in time, and that ends the first quarter of play of the season. That's the reaction.
And Sonny to help you tie your ties at McNichols at the locker room. Back to you, Al.
Thank you, Don Pardo. You know, we can't lose Scott in this crowd. He just has to open up his jacket, and we see that tie. Starting the second quarter, the Nuggets lead at 29-21. Going in, outside Simmons, Chilcutt, a hard drive. Pete Chilcutt, who plays hard. The Kings, that is not one of their strengths, their inside game. One of their strengths also not their bench. Nuggets feel this is where they could take advantage, and you see the athleticism of Darnell Mee goes past the basket. It makes it look easy.
That was just a great pass and recovery by Brian Williams to get the ball to Darnell Mee, and he made a good reverse layup with the left hand for all the young players. He's a right-handed player, but he used his left hand that time.
Randy Brown loses out of bounds, but this, Walt, is where the Nuggets feel that they can open up a game.
Right.
They'll match their bench against the Kings bench any day.
Yes.
Plus, the Nuggets have one starter in there, LaFonso Ellis, along with Brian Williams. Mutombo gets a rest. Ellis wheels over Caldwell. There's me battling his own 6'11" teammate, Brian Williams, and Denver gets the ball. I think the Nuggets fans will find out that they have another really exciting player in Darnell Mee. Some teams had even looked at him as a first-round draft pick, but he fell all the way to number 34 in the second round. Nuggets quite happy. They traded up to get him. Ellis and LaFonso Ellis, after his brilliant first year, is finding out here in game 1 of year number 2 the kind of attention he is now getting from the defense.
Well, LaFonso's had a couple of bad breaks there. He's got the good offensive rebound and got the ball tipped on the way up and lost it. Wasn't able to finish that shot. So we got a jump ball now.
Spud Webb through traffic, turns on the speed, goes all the way. Now you see him, now you don't.
Well, that's what the Kings want to do. They want to get out in the open court, get Spud Webb the ball, and let him create something for himself or the teammates.
Nuggets out-rebounded the Kings 16-11 in that first quarter. Mutombo had 5. Brian Williams, the hard drive, and he hits with a left hand and is fouled again. So Brian Williams has his second opportunity of a three-point play, taking it hard to the hoop.
Well, what makes that play work, first of all, initially before he got the ball, Mark Macon did a good little penetration. His Brian Williams man sloughed off. He had a good pass back to him. The lane was wide open. Brian took it in. Hopefully a three-point play here. Great.
6 points now for Brian Williams. The Orlando Magic trying to get rookie Anthony Hardaway under the salary cap. Had a part with Brian Williams. And the Nuggets are making the deal. And he should be a key ingredient to the Nuggets this year. Kevin Brooks gets his first foul. Well, John Lucas, the coach of the San Antonio Spurs, said if you're looking for a dark horse in the Midwest Division, it's the Denver Nuggets. And this will trying to low-key the expectations, but the Nuggets coming out of the gate here very fast and really excited about getting the season started. Down court, it is me, takes it in, slides past Simmons. Oh, there's a goaltend, but it's not called.
Yes, that definitely was a goaltend that time.
Nuggets will get the ball back. Dan Issel right on top of the play. That was interfered with either on the rim or over the cylinder. Sliding in is Darnell Mee. There is Caldwell. He even knew, you could see the resignation on his face, knew he made a mistake, but he gets away with it.
I'm sure he was surprised he didn't hear a whistle that time.
Wheeling is Williams. Fires it out to me. A good three-point shooter. Simmons over the back of Ellis. Simmons still with it. The L train coming through. Only the first field goal for Simmons. So the two top scorers for the Kings, Simmons and Richmond, have a total of 3 points so far in the first half. 9.5 to go in the second quarter. Ellis with his back to Tisdale. Fade away, high arcing shot, and Macon battles to get it back. Macon pulls up for the jumper. The Nuggets have been long on quite a few of their outside shots. Now Spud with some speed. Knocked away by Macon. The quick hands, Macon and Mee. Sacramento retains possession. Substitution. Brian Stiff reports back in, and Mark Macon goes out. Dan Issel continues to come in with waves of players. Darnell Mee now is out, and Raouf checks in to check Spud Webb. Kevin Brooks is out. But Dan Issel has essentially reunited 4 of the starters with Brian Williams now in the middle. Dikembe Mutombo, what a pleasure for Mutombo getting a nice rest. Never do this before.
Yes.
Simmons from the outside. Third all-time leading scorer in NCAA history when he came out of LaSalle behind Pete Maravich and Freeman Williams. Number 3 all-time was Simmons. Ellis. Williams for 3. Squish. Reggie Williams hot off the bench after a sizzling first quarter in which he poured in 11 points. Caldwell stopped by Williams, fouled by Williams. And that's Brian Williams. using the body, and Brian Williams standing out in the first half tonight. The Nuggets make sure they're going to go for the block, and when they give the foul, the opponent knows they've been fouled. So the Nuggets, part of the new look, starting with the defense, very physical. Last year they led the NBA in rebounds and block shots, and now they're even bigger.
Well, the only thing also, Al, all the big men for the Kings and for the Nuggets are good, fast, big men. They love to run. That's how Coswell got that layup, by beating Brian Williams down the floor that time.
Coswell, who teamed with Mark Macon at Temple, first-round draft pick, essentially a one-dimensional player, blocking shots. They hope to get some rebounds, and the Sacramento Kings will be better off when Dwayne Coswell is their man coming off the bench. Although that's what he did tonight. But Gary St. Jean is looking for some rotation. Started the veteran Randy Brewer. Raouf Williams let it go. He was over the cylinder. And now it's Webb revving it up for Sacramento. Simmons steps by Williams. Lionel Simmons now with a hot hand for Sacramento. He has 6 points. And the Kings have moved to within 5. Raouf has been held to 1 field goal. Ellis pulls in one more time. Over Stiff, who climbs to try to get it back. Denver ball. Your Front Range Jeep Eagle dealers invite you to get behind the wheel of the sports sedan Eagle Vision, or stop by and see the legendary Jeep Wrangler. Stiff. There's the whistle. Greg Willard calls the foul on Mitch Richmond. Richmond, 1 personal foul. Walt, you realize he now has more personal fouls than field goals in this game.
Yes, and that's unusual for Mitch Richmond because he's such a great scorer. And hopefully it'll stay like that tonight, Al.
Well, I don't know about that. That's really wishful thinking.
Yes.
Brian Stiff, this young man, the inner strength of this young Denver Nuggets club. Remember last year, first game of the season, came off the bench against San Antonio with 20 points. Helped lead the Nuggets from behind to a double overtime win. He had 4 steals in the 4th quarter in overtime. Just started the story of what's to come from Brian Stiff. The steal by Raouf, chased by Richmond, but he's gone. Mach with the move, and he has 8 points.
Well, that was just a good help-out defense that time. Chris Mahmoud saw that the guy had his back turned and went in and got a good steal for a layup.
Richmond misfires again. Abdul Raouf in traffic, takes the look, has a tough time looking over the 7-foot Dwayne Coswell. Stiff. Oh, what a pick by Williams. 10 on the shot clock. Here's Williams, Reggie. Got it.
Great hesitation move. He waited to Spud Webb got by him because he was going for the block from behind. Reggie just was patient, got a good little shot in the paint.
Nuggets reel off 6 straight points, and they open the lead to 11. 6:45 left in the 2nd quarter. Tisdale leaves Brian Williams on the floor, gets a shot right in the jaw. 13 points for Tisdale, and he is keeping the Kings in this ball game. Ellis has a clear track. Coswell comes over, and he is called for his 2nd personal foul. It is time for the Miller Lite timeout. Time half. Hurley beats Tisdale, and it's run down by Brian Stiff. Stiff and Raouf in the backcourt, with Mutombo now back in the middle. Ellis and Williams up front. The Nuggets with a starting 5. Raouf pulls the trigger.
And that play there was to get Chris Jackson and Raouf involved on Bobby Hurley, introduce him to the NBA.
Walt, I'm going to establish an over-under number for you on Abdul Raouf and Chris Jackson. We call it 6. All right? I think it's maybe 6 for half. Mutombo rumbles down the lane. But you have to understand, this is a transition period for announcers, getting over the Chris Jackson, Mahmoud Abdul Raouf name change.
I got to do better. I'm not a rookie anymore.
5.5 to go in this first half. Listen, how long did it take you to call the Oakland Raiders the Los Angeles Raiders? Richmond's got to be frustrated as he finally scores his first field goal. 49-36, the Nuggets by 13. Opening the season in Sacramento. They split here last year, winning a game by 1 and losing by 20. And they remember that game well because at the end of the game, Nuggets were burned because the Kings were running up the score to win free hamburgers for their fans. Reggie Williams downtown for the second time tonight. A sizzling start for Williams, who has 19 in the first half. Mutombo backs it off the boards to himself for his 6th rebound of the game. Raouf going right at Hurley. Picked up by Reggie Williams. Right behind the back pass, but Ellis can't hold on. Mahmoud showing the moves. It's okay, says Dennis. He'll just settle down. And the hand is for number 54 coming in for the Kings, but there is Raouf. Hurley saying, "What? I didn't do anything."
Well, Bobby Hurley's a great defensive player. I've been watching his eyes, and he's keeping them right on Raouf, number 3, right at his mix session.
Richmond now finding the range. 2 quick baskets for Mitch Richmond. The crowd reacting to number 54, the 6'10 rookie out of Michigan State, Mike Poplawski, who plays like a plow horse. And he sets up inside. Nuggets with a 14-point bulge. Poplawski watching Mutombo. Mutombo showing several moves, and he's in double figures with 11 points. Very quietly, Mutombo right up there with Reggie Williams and Raouf. In double figures, Poplawski shoves Mutombo. Hurley from the outside, his first field goal as a pro, and he takes a deep breath after that one.
Well, every time that happens, I'm looking at Coach Esso, and he just has a terrible look on his face when they get those second shots. They got to limit the Kings to 1 shot to get their break going on the other end.
Going in, there were 2 areas in which the Horse was concerned, limiting second shots and turnovers. Mutombo, the line drive hook from the other side. 13-point first half for Dikembe Mutombo. Last year, he averaged 14 points per game.
Well, I can see a big difference in Dikembe's footwork, and I think that's helping him make those good little shots. He's always had good form on the top end. It's just his footwork wasn't under him enough to get him good balance.
One of the questions presented to Hurley as he turned pro was his outside shooting. He has now hit 2 straight from deep. Reggie Williams, the hard drive, the fake by Tisdale, a rare miss by Williams in this first half. Now Hurley galloping, sets it up to Simmons, wide open. And the Sacramento Kings love their rookie teammate because they know they will get the ball from Bobby Hurley.
Yes, if they get out in that break and run, this guy runs the break just as well, I think, as John Stockton. Plays great defense, reminds me a lot of him. I just question his outside shot here in the NBA.
High expectations for Hurley. This foul is against Poplawski. Certainly 2:17 left in the first half. His Nuggets owned a 12-point lead on the road in Sacramento in the opener, the 1993-94 season. Reggie Williams, who leads the Nuggets with 19 points, triggers. Raouf fakes out Hurley and sinks it.
That was a great offensive move by Raouf. That time gave Bobby Hurley a good little fake, let him get past him. Nice little open jump shot. That's target practice.
That is a dozen now for Mahmoud. Simmons from outside. Nuggets there giving Sacramento only the 1 shot. Yeah. And now trying to run it right back down their throats. Looking inside. One-on-one, Ellis and Tisdale with the wheel. Tisdale really in the trenches with LaFonso Ellis tonight. Richmond gets the big pick. 10 on the shot clock. Tisdale, the little lefty, and he is deadly once he gets that position that close.
Well, Wayman Tisdale's always been a great scorer in college with the Indiana Pacers, and now with the Kings, he's the leading scorer for the Kings in their history.
And he's the leading scorer tonight. 15 points for Tisdale. 1:10 left in the first half. Ellis tries again. Bruising inside between Ellis and Tisdale. This time Ed Rush calls the foul on Tisdale. It's his second. And Raouf settling down. Just a great camaraderie among these Denver Nugget players who combine youth, strength, depth, very versatile group. LaFonso Ellis studies from the foul line. And studying LaFonso Ellis from under the basket is Scott Hastings.
I tell you what, I've got a great vantage point, and LaFonso and I are great friends. We talk all the time. LaFonso's shooting 1 for 11 right now, and each one of his shots has come from the paint. If you watch your replays and watch what's happening, LaFonso gets in a little trouble shooting when he starts fading away from the basket on a shot, and I think that's what you'll see he has done this first half. Al?
Well, he has hit all 4 of his foul shots, and still, while he struggles from the field, has 6, make it 7. He's 5 for 5 from the foul line, 7 points in the first half. Well, Greg Willard trying to set something up at the scorer's table with the clock. 24-second clock has gone awry, and we will have a little bit of a delay. And now the scoreboards have gone down. We have just about a minute to go in the first half. Yes, it is the first game of the regular season. A reminder, the Nuggets will play their first game of the regular season at home Sunday night. 7 o'clock start at McNichols Arena against the Los Angeles Clippers. 21 seconds to go on the shot clock. I believe they said 1:06 to go, and the scoreboard is down. You remember the score? All right, Hurley will go to work. A minute to go in the first half. Poplawski, sweeping right-hand hook shot. Shades of jungle Jim Laskitov, and he looks like him too.
Well, he gave a good fake to the baseline before he came to the middle with that good hook.
45 seconds to go in the first half. Nuggets lead at 60 to 48. The hard move again by Ellis. He is stopped there, but fouled. And it could be on Poplawski. There's a couple of words with the referee.
LaFonso gives a great fake, goes baseline, but he gets the help from Poplawski and from Pete Chilcutt. And they get a good block, jump ball.
Poplawski comes along, and it isn't a foul. It is the jump ball. So Ellis and Poplawski right in the hands of Mutombo. 30 seconds left in the first half. Nuggets have been in front from the start. They scored the first 7 points of the game. First 9 points of the game. 10 on the shot clock. Mutombo another hook, and he has been deadly with a sweeping right-hand hook. Richmond all the way. Nuggets will get the last shot. Williams with 19 for the Nuggets. That's Reggie Williams. Mutombo with 15. Raouf with 12 to lead the scoring. Tisdale, the only King in double figures, with 15. Raouf with the move. 1 second. Richmond not in time. So that ends the first half of play. The Los Angeles Clippers, Danny Manning, Mark Jackson and company in town Sunday night at McNichols Arena. Nuggets start with Raouf and Stiff in the backcourt. Raouf with 12 points, Mutombo with 15, and Reggie Williams with a 19-point first half. Reggie 8 of 10 from the field. Mutombo 7 of 9 from the floor. Leading scorer for Sacramento, Wayman Tisdale with 15 points. He's the only King in double figures. Brewer had problems gathering the ball, but obviously helped his shot.
Well, that's one of the plays that the Nuggets are concerned about. They want Raouf to put more pressure on Hurley, and that's going to give the big guys more chance and more time to get in position to play better defense.
Mutombo at 7 boards in the first half. Smacks it home. Dikembe Mutombo certainly playing within his limits and having a very big opening night on the scoreboard. 17 points for Dikembe Mutombo.
Well, I'm really impressed. You can tell he's been working over the summer on his footwork, and that's made a big difference in his offensive game.
Also working with the horse.
Of
can
course.
be yet to unleash that facing the basket shot for the 93-94 season, but so far hasn't had to. 1 minute into the second half, the Nuggets lead it by 12. Brian Stuff, one of the Nuggets' leading scorers in preseason, searching for his first field goal of the season. He's been doing such a great job shadowing Mitch Richmond. Richmond went most of the first half without scoring, but now starting to break out. 9 points for Richmond. Hurley guarding Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, the former Chris Jackson. Mutombo gets it back, down to 6 on the shot clock. Rauf. And Brewer reels it in. Now it is Hurley on the run, zigging and zagging. Tisdale, the hard drive, and he is cut off by Mutombo. Now it's Rauf racing, gets the push from Hurley, the reverse, got it. And no foul on that play. There was a clear push by Bobby Hurley.
Well, you know something important that Rolf did that time. He took the ball on the other side and used the rim as a man so Randy Brewer couldn't block that shot.
Randy Brewer wide open for a big man. There is one accolade. He can shoot.
Yes, facing the basket. He's a very good shooter.
66-56. Nuggets holding on from the start. They reeled off the first 9 points in the ball game. 7 of those by Reggie Williams. Ellis, who will be bruised after this one tonight. That's 1 of 13 for LaFonso. This foul goes against the Nuggets. Greg Willard makes the call, loose ball. That is only the second of the evening on Mutombo.
Well, here LaFonso tries to go for another hook. I think what LaFonso should do, it looks like there's a foul on Randy Brewer pulling Mutombo's shirt that time. I think he got a missed call.
Yeah, that's a 2-minute penalty for pulling the shirts, especially those nice new uniforms.
Yeah.
2 Nuggets fighting for it. Ellis fires it out to Rauf. Rauf with the wheel. Hurley stays with him, but not on that move. Swish.
Well, that was about 4 or 5 moves
right.
that time.
You could stay with him for the first 2 or 3, but he gets you on the 4th.
Yeah.
Now Hurley tries to deal back, finds his man inside. Ripped down by Mutombo. The Nuggets once again off and running. Down court, Reggie Williams trying to open it up again in the second half. Flick of the wrist. Swish. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, 18 points, and he is now rushing Reggie Williams for the Nuggets scoring high.
And it's just a good presence of mind for Reggie Williams to all the defense that sucked down in the paint and just got an open shot for Raul.
Richmond gift wraps to Tisdale. 8th field goal for Wayman Tisdale, and he has 17. The only King in double figures. Kings, who won 16 games, lost 25 here on their home floor last year. They get into the up-tempo game, a dangerous team. Nuggets just not letting him do that. Hurley on the run. Hurley great in the open floor. Goes behind the back several times. And Rauf has a couple of words with Eddie Rush on that. And Eddie says, no, you got to be kidding me. First foul on Rauf.
Well, Bobby Hurley is just taking it in the middle. Everyone knows he's a good ball handler, great assist man. He put a few moves on Rauf that time to get the foul.
From Jersey City, where he played high school, with Terry DeHare, the rookie from Seton Hall. We'll see Sunday night on the Clippers. Hurley, who was superior when he played against the Dream Team when the college All-Stars got together. Rodney Rogers also on that team. And Magic Johnson, when he saw Hurley in that game, he said, this kid has something special inside him. Won at every level. He doesn't back down from anyone. He runs the offense better than any college guard that he had ever seen. Well, at least in a long, long time. And now it is Rauf heating up. He becomes the high man in the ball game, putting on a shooting show. 20 points for Abdul-Rauf. Simmons, the hard drive, rejected by Mutombo. Now Rauf in the middle, pushing it up the floor. Stiff, the hard drive. Brewer, the hard foul. Randy Brewer gets his 3rd, and Brian Stiff will mosey to the foul line. Come see the new 94 Plymouth Voyager, the Grand Voyager in the Chrysler Town and Country. All meet the 1998 Federal Passenger Car Safety Standards, so visit them only at your local Chrysler Plymouth minivan store. Brian Stiff has 3 points tonight, all from the foul line. Final preseason game against Miami at 23 points, which was the individual high of the preseason for any Nugget. 73-59, Nuggets holding the double figures lead in their opener for 93-94. Richmond smothered by Stiff, and that's where he is concentrating his effort in this game. And he has done it. He's taken Richmond out of it. Wheeling is Simmons. Ellis comes over for the block. Gets it in the middle of Stiff. Stiff takes a look. Back to Ellis. He started it, and he finishes it.
Great play that time. Alfonso got on the break and ran. And he had facing the basket that time. I think he's a much better player when he faces.
All right, let's check in with Greg Mills with a timeout here in Sacramento. Technical foul, and Raouf stepped to the line, sank it, and that's 5 for 5 for Mahmoud, and he has just established the new Nuggets record for 64 straight, breaking Dan Issel's record. But you know what the horse said, that these other 59 were by Chris Jackson. So your streak as Mahmoud is only 5, so forget that Nuggets record. Reaching up from the inside, Dikembe Mutombo. 19 points for Mutombo.
Well, Dikembe got good inside position that time and was able to tap that ball right up there.
The block by Mutombo, but underneath, Joe DeRosa calls the foul on LaFonso Ellis. Now, that's LaFonso's first foul since early in the ball game. That is number 3 for Ellis. Mutombo, 17 points, 11 rebounds so far in the game. Mutombo now has so much talent around him, and as you can see in game number 1, how much more effective that has made him on the offensive end of the floor.
Well, the defensive team, they have to plan their strategy to stop out Reggie Williams, Mahmoud, Ellis, and it's left Dikembe in there to roam free to get some easy buckets.
Tisdale makes the 2. Count executive standing by for information for Nuggets tickets. There's the number to call, 220-1550. Abdul Raouf with 8 seconds on the shot clock. He wants Hurley one-on-one. Flick of the wrist. Simmons can't hold on. Tisdale saves. Coswell now in the middle with Hurley, Richmond, Simmons, and Tisdale. Hurley showing Raouf all his moves. Sacramento down to 10 seconds on the shot clock. Coswell in low over Mutombo. And that's one of the better moves you'll see offensively from Dwayne Coswell.
I think Dikembe got a piece of that and helped the ball go in.
5.5 left in the third quarter. Williams gets the pick from Ellis. Reggie has not scored in the second half after 19 in the first half. Crashing the boards, the Kings. Now it's Hurley. Racing it up into the hands of Simmons, who likes that baseline. Well, they got it into the wrong hands, but he made the right shot. Of all the offensive threats moving the ball around, Coswell ends up with a jump shot. Dan Issel doesn't like it, as the Kings have moved to within 11 points. So the horse has fell down as he was trying to get position. Would have been wide open for a jumper. Early finding out this isn't Duke.
Very fast.
Losing inside, Ellis, and he connects one more time. As much as he has been struggling, he's still in double figures.
With that time, he had good footwork that time to enable him to finish that shot.
Mutombo bats it out. Williams has it 3-on-1. Williams to Macon. Macon against Hurley, and Macon will go to the foul line. Well, Mark Macon has shown great judgment during the preseason. On that one, he decided to take it right to Hurley, even though he might have had a man wide open, cutting on the other side. But Macon now will try to get the 2 from the foul line. Let's check in with the tie himself, Scott Hastings.
Well, you know, in the NBA game, there's a lot of different kind of timeouts. There's a kind that, hey, you guys are really stinking it up. And then there's the kind of, hey, let's just break the momentum a little bit. Let's get these guys a rest. That's the kind of timeout Dan Issel just called. You know, it's really funny. It kind of shows what kind of talent this team has. At halftime, LaFonso Ellis is 1 for 12. Brian Stith is 0 for 1, two of the best players on the team, and they're pretty much dominating the game. Back to you, Al.
Ellis has come out to hit a couple of field goals here. Reggie Williams had 19 points in the first half, has not scored in the second. Macon cans those 2 foul shots. The Nuggets by 15 with 2:50 left in the third quarter. Hurley, the crossover dribble. Williams almost runs it down.
That was great anticipation that time, and that's a good idea to have. You know Hurley's looking to pass, and if you can sneak into the passing lane and guess right with him, you're going to get some steals.
A struggling Mitch Richmond, 5 of 15 from the field, goes to the bench with but 11 points. Randy Brown loses 3-on-1. Williams, who knows how to finish, even with somebody draped around him. Simmons, the personal foul. Dan Issel wants more than that. Wants a breakaway foul.
Yes. It was a good pass by Rauf to Reg, and he just takes it right to the hole. And that could have, he held on to him. I think that's the difference between a breakaway or a flagrant foul.
Reggie Williams misses the first foul shot, hard off the iron. Darnell Mee, the rookie from Western Kentucky, gives Abdul Rauf a rest. Mahmoud goes out with 21 points, 9 in the third quarter. And Rodney Rogers is also checked in. So Dan Issel, with about 2.5 minutes to go, puts the rookies in. And Rodney Rogers, who's a bull inside, also has a very nice shooting touch, as he demonstrated there with that left hand.
Well, I watched him and Marcus Liberty warm up before the game, and Rodney Rogers is hitting the NBA three-pointer with ease.
Pete Hillcutt, the second-year man, another of the former Tar Heels in the NBA. 86-71. Nuggets by the 15, coming down to 2 minutes left in the third quarter. One-on-one. Lionel Simmons talking to Reggie Williams. Reggie Williams with Brian Williams there. Banging the boards. The Nuggets continue off the bench, sending in men who can do it inside.
Also, Al, they continue to, when the Kings double team or go to help, the guys are going to the basket, picking up offensive rebounds.
Down to 7 seconds to shoot. Carswell, Mee helps out. Mee with the block, swats it away. Macon tries to thread his way through and gets fouled. Darnell Mee showing his versatility, helping out against the 7-foot center, and he is all over the place.
You see Darnell goes from behind, gets a little help to Brian Williams, gets a good block. Mark Macon picks up the loose ball.
There's Mee, quickly off to Macon. Mee and Macon. Macon and Mee in the backcourt. Williams and Williams with Rogers up front. Macon baseline, and there is Brian Williams again soaring. This was off the Nuggets. Kevin Brooks checking in. The only Nugget has not seen any action has been Marcus Liberty. Denver playing without Tom Hammonds, who is out with a sprained thumb. Nuggets hope that he may be back sometime next week. Spud Webb darts inside, and he sets up Simmons. Simmons gets it back. A minute to go in the third quarter. Kings have plenty of time, 20 seconds. Chilcutt takes one of those.
Also, one just lost their man that time. Pete Chilcutt did the right thing. Go to the hole if nobody's guarding you.
So that slices the Nuggets lead down to 15. 40 seconds to go. Rookies getting a chance. Mee. And Spud Webb comes out of the crowd. Darnell Mee. Where's number 4? That's what he ranked in the NCAA last year in steals. Picked up 1 or 2 already here tonight. Rogers outside, and helping out is Mee again. You know, Walt, you talked about Mee as a guy who kind of looks and does the kind of things that Nate McMillan does in Seattle, all those valuable things, but
yes.
at 6'5", 175. He also has the look of the Stacey Augmon.
Sure, yes, with long arms, good anticipation. He's just a great-looking rookie.
Pete Chilcott hitting some baskets for Sacramento Kings. It leaves the Nuggets with a final shot in the third. Macon wants to take it in the mismatch against the smaller Webb. 1 second, knee from downtown, and he comes up short. Comes Sunday night. Kevin Brooks fires, and Coswell gathers it in. 12 minutes to go. The Kings have to make up 13 points. The Denver Nuggets have been in front throughout. And they're trying to not allow the Kings to make a run on their home floor. It has been all Nuggets.
Well, the Nuggets have got to be very careful here. They got to really concentrate on keeping Spud Webb out of the middle. And you don't want to get this crowd into the game right now. Got a nice little comfortable lead.
Raouf comes in and he hears the it's caught on. One game here and the crowd is yelling out his name when he comes in. Darnell Mee takes a seat. Richmond now with 13 points, and that's one guy the Nuggets don't want to see get going here in the fourth. He can take over a game in 1 quarter. Raouf, swish. 23 points for Mahmoud, and he takes over the scoring lead for the Nuggets. 21 for Mutombo, who right now rests on the bench. Dennis going with the young lineup. Rodney Rogers is in there. They call this on Raouf, or was it on, I'm sorry, on Williams. And now some changes being made by the horse.
Thought the bench played very well at the end of the third quarter, right there at the beginning of the fourth quarter, Al.
Spud Webb, Randy Brown in the backcourt. Richmond now moving up front with Coswell and Chilcott. Richmond guarded by the bigger Rogers, tries to go by him. And the whistle. This foul goes against Rodney Rogers. So at 6'7", around 260, give or take a couple of pounds. Rogers start trying to stay with Richmond. Rodney Rogers.
Well, he did the right thing. He forced Mitch into the middle where his help is. The play before that, Mitch Richmond got around Brian Stitz and got a layup. There was no help for him.
With Michael Jordan now on the shelf, this is one of the players. If you take a look around the NBA, that is potentially now one of the top shooting guards in the league. Not shown that tonight in the opener, but the Nuggets have a lot to do with that. A minute and a half in to the fourth quarter. Rogers is blocked by Coswell, and then Richmond is clean. It's a foul against Macon, foul number 3, and this is a time in which Dan Issel sees something developing. So he has made a change, and he will reunite the starting 5. A Richmond sandwich. Macon gets called on the foul, his third. So the Nuggets now have the starting 5 back in there. Raouf and Stiff in the backcourt, Mutombo in the middle, Ellis and Williams at the forwards, and Denver now bracing for a Sacramento run. They put it into the hands of Richmond. 1-on-1 on Stith. He gets some help. Coswell knocks it out of bounds. Raouf helping out on the double team against Richmond.
Made him change his shot.
Tugging at the trousers. Gary St. Jean in his second season as head coach of Sacramento. 12 years on an NBA bench as an assistant coach. Most of those with Don Nelson. The alley-oop, Ellis with the tip. And now Sacramento, for the first time in a long time, could cut their deficit under double figures. Raouf gets his second. And quickly, Gary St. Jean sends Wayman Tisdale in there. Long rest for Tisdale. Returns with 19 points. Chilcott making a couple of key baskets.
Yes.
Goes out with 8.
That played very well. Once again, Spud Webb got into the middle. And usually if you let this quick little guy get in the middle like that, he's going to make some good things happen. He got a foul on Raouf that time.
7 points for Spud Webb. And the crowd now getting back into this game. 9:50 left in the fourth quarter. Nuggets have led from the start. Double team on Williams. Raouf. 8 seconds to shoot. Reggie for 3. And Spud Webb takes it. He races out. Brown to Tisdale. For the first time tonight, the King fans have exploded.
Make Sacramento play defense pretty much all these 24 seconds and get a good shot, keep this crowd sitting down.
The crowd is back into this one. 17,317 strong to travel against Alfonso Ellis. The young Nugget club now gets their first challenge of the first game of the season. They've led by as many as 17, have never relinquished the lead in this ball game. But now they feel the pressure from the Sacramento Kings. They've moved to within 7 and have the ball. Spud Webb helping to bring the Kings back. Takes the shot. 9 points for Spud Webb. And it's a 5-point game with plenty of time to go. 8:45. Alfonso Ellis fade away between 2 Kings. There's the whistle. The shove is called against Sacramento, against number 2, Mitch Richmond. The Nuggets getting the score in order.
I think that foul was on Wayman Tisdale that time on Alfonso Ellis.
Alfonso Ellis for the 2 foul shots. Last year averaged 15 points, 9 rebounds a game. All rookie first team. All right, let's check in with Scott Hastings. How do you see it, Scott?
Well, during the last timeout, Dan was concerned about the rush that Sacramento is putting on the Nuggets. He wants Alfonso or Brian Stitt to stay in the middle of the pressure defense and attack the basket. He said the one way to stop this run is to go right back at him, Al.
And that foul shot quiets the crowd for a moment, but the lead is only 6. Spud Webb working off a screen outside. He feels it. Mutombo reaching in for rebound number 13.
And they defensed that pick and roll great that time. They didn't let Spud Webb keep going with that right hand to set something else up for his teammate.
Did you see Alfonso Ellis jump up? I mean, he had that flashback of the rookie season when something like that would happen and the whistle blow and they nail him for the foul. But this time the foul is on Wayman Tisdale.
Yeah.
Yes, the Fonz has graduated to his 2nd season. Number 5 on Tisdale, and that is a moment to remember in this game. The big presence inside. Tisdale goes to the bench. And the Nuggets right now have a team that is so much bigger than the Kings. Coswell is in there, and then the other biggest forward is Lionel Simmons. 3 other guards are on the floor. So inside it goes to Mutombo, and he deposits it. They take care of business inside. Yep. The Kings have Richmond, Spud Webb, and Randy Brown all on the floor with Simmons, who stands at 6'7", and the 7-footer Coswell. Brown. Hard drive by Webb. And outside, the foul is called against Raouf. So Mahmoud has his 3rd personal foul. Simmons and Richmond to this point have not been factors, 2 of the leading scorers of the Kings. Simmons had 4 field goals in the 2nd quarter. He has only had 1 more the rest of the game. And Richmond has a modest 15 points in this ball game. Spud Webb, the story, though, for Sacramento, who's done this before against the Nuggets. He now has 11 points. And 8 of them have come in the 2nd half. Nuggets lead still just 6. With 7:45 still remaining. Stiff in trouble. He needs some help. Reggie Williams flicks the wrist too hard. Spud Webb, Brown second timeout. Point bulge has been whittled down to 4, a measly 4 points. This is for 3. Stiff can't hold on. Spud Webb wheeling out, trying to go all the way. And it's number 4. The foul's piling up on Raouf, who right now having his problems containing Spud Webb.
Spud Webb, once he gets that momentum going towards the basket, he's still awful quick. Been in the league for 8 years. Still uses his experience that time on Raouf.
Nuggets are over the limit. Sacramento only 2 team fouls in this fourth quarter. Mahmoud with 23 points. It's now a 3-point game. 6 of 7 from the foul line. 12 points for Spud Webb. Nuggets searching for that offense.
On this half-court trap, the middle is wide open. The Nuggets have got to look for that.
Brian Stiff for his first field goal. Doesn't make the attempt. Smothered is Mutombo for a fadeaway. Richmond takes it. Spud Webb ahead of the field. Caldwell, no travel. Oh, they call a foul on the Nuggets. Don Mutombo. What do they call it? Is it Reggie Williams? Reggie Williams, his first.
Well, once again, the Kings are moving the ball very well. You see, once again, another little touch pass.
Williams there says the travel, but the official doesn't agree. A 62% foul shooter. Caldwell, who has made one and missed one tonight from the line. And that one had no shot whatsoever. The noose tightening around the Nuggets. Down to 3 points. Looked down by Kembe Mutombo.
The fans didn't like that too much. They wanted goaltending.
14 rebounds for Mutombo. Ellis has 10. The double team on Stiff. The young Nugget club trying to find some patience. It's Sacramento ball. Denver being rattled on the offensive end by the trapping Kings.
Once the Nuggets get the ball on the offensive end again, I think they should concentrate on someone clearing the side and taking the ball straight to the hole.
Nuggets have scored 5 points in this fourth quarter. We're just about halfway through. Richmond finds a man wide open. Randy Brown. And it's down to 1. Six minutes on the nose left in the fourth quarter. Raouf gets the shot, flicks the wrist. Wish.
Good patience that time to let Raouf come off the pick and try to score. Great shooter. Reggie made a good pass to him. They got the ball in the middle that time.
And before that basket by Raouf, Sacramento had been on an 18-5 run. But they have yet to overcome the Nuggets and take the lead. Nuggets trying to hang on the road in their opener in the 93-94 season. Simmons. And now the Kings starting to hit their shots from all angles. 95-94. Denver, 5.5 to go in the fourth quarter. The Kings pumped on the defensive end. Stiff. Run down by Williams and loses. Kings could take the lead with a basket here. Webb stopped by Ellis. Randy Brown. Randy Brown off the bench hitting key baskets. He now has 10 points, and for the first time, Stiff. As the shot clock goes off, 24 seconds. the wall's starting to crumble. 4.5 minutes to go. The young Nugget club now on the road with a club opponent coming back. The fans behind them. We'll see how the Nuggets react to this situation. Spud Webb wide open. And when it rains, it pours. It's a 3-point lead for Sacramento. Spud Webb with 14 points, 9 in the fourth quarter. Stiff, the hard drive. Reggie Williams will get to the foul line and stops the clock at 3:58. Coswell reaching in, gets the foul, his third. Reggie Williams 1 of 4 from the foul line. Preseason he hit 17 of 18. All his points came in the first half. Slides in and gets the 2.
It took a little while, but he got the 2 points down that time.
Big play by Reggie Williams. Nuggets now bounce back to within 1. And the steal by Williams. The foul, Randy Brown. No, they call it on Williams. Reggie Williams gets his second personal foul.
Well, Reggie's normally very good and active with his hands. Thought he had a steal that time, and I think he just got him right across the arm.
Actually may have fouled him twice. So Randy Brown goes to the line. Let's check in with Scott Hastings. Scott? Brown will have one more. We're having a difficulty. Scott, I think you have to turn it on. Turn the on switch.
How's this?
There you go. There you go.
So we're talking about momentum. When momentum swings like it has here, you notice a bunch of different things. Obviously, the shots start falling for the other team. The calls start going for the other team. And little things of frustration always set in. Now,
it's 3-point lead now for Sacramento. And inside, some bumping going on. Randy Brown this time of the Sacramento Kings will be nailed with his second personal foul.
Well, he and Reggie Williams are playing each other very physical and tough. I think the referees are going to keep a close eye on that matchup.
14th foul on Sacramento. Nuggets almost unable to get it in. The block by Coswell. A dramatic one. Simmons loses. It looked like LaFonso Ellis was there. We talked about Coswell essentially as one dimension. Well, folks, that was it.
Yes.
Came out of nowhere to block the shot. 3:20 and counting. Here's the arithmetic over the last 9:45. From behind, Lionel Simmons. And LaFonso Ellis is barking as he works his way to the foul line.
Just definitely a smart move that time. They took the ball to the hole, putting the pressure on the defense of the Kings. LaFonso Ellis is at the free throw line. Also, it takes the crowd out of the game for a while. They're just in it right now, ready to give the Kings all kind of help they can get.
LaFon's 3 of 17 from the floor, but still continues to battle inside. Last year, one of the few Nuggets who did shoot 50% from the field. And he quiets the crowd from the foul line. 12 points tonight for LaFonso Ellis. He has a double-double in his first game of the year, 11 rebounds. In the crowd, Randy Brown. Here's a guy who almost didn't play tonight because he's coming off an injury, a strained ligament in his left knee. Spud Webb flying. Simmons blocked by Mutombo. Nuggets racing out. Stiff gets away from Webb. Raouf. Williams wheels and deals. left hand on the second shot. And now Reggie Williams, who, like Mahmoud Abdul Rauf, known for his down-the-stretch heroics, ties it up. Reggie has been quiet in the second half, but has now hit 2 big field goals. Speaking of quiet, Richmond dishes it off to Simmons on the run. 14 points for Lionel Simmons. It's a 2-point Sacramento lead. 2:20 left in the ball game. Ellis with Simmons going down. The tackle, I think, it was around the 16-yard line. And now Mutombo gets into it, and a technical is called on Dikembe Mutombo. Brian Stiff pulling Mutombo away and trying to shake him up and say, hey, Dikembe, not the right timing.
No, not at all.
The tackle goes on Dikembe, and he knows he's that upset at himself. He said he was trying to, I think he said he was trying to pull Simmons off of his teammate. Timeout is taken. 2:14 left. Simmons was the one who fouled Ellis, so we'll straighten this all out when we return. And dragged down by Simmons. Dikembe Mutombo apparently has a couple of words with the official, but the wrong official. And Ed Rush has called the technical on Dikembe Mutombo. It appeared there as if he had ejected him from the game, but I don't think that's the case. Mutombo now explaining his case to Joe DeRosa. He was very upset at the way Simmons tackled LaFonso Ellis. And Joe DeRosa allows Mutombo to speak his piece. Meanwhile, Spud Webb with the technical foul shot hits it. And once again, Ellis, who gives the bump to Simmons, and Simmons then gets him back. 103-100. Spud Webb hits the technical. He has 15 points, 10 in the fourth quarter. Mutombo cooling down. But Ed Rush then came to the defense of his colleague and called the tee to get Mutombo off of the referee, Joe DeRosa. Ellis back the other way. Remember, he was fouled by Simmons, and the Nuggets are not doing it at the foul line. 20 of 30 from the line. Ellis misses the 2. Kings by 3, time dwindling to 2:10 and counting. Spud Webb didn't start, Walt, but he's certainly finishing this ball game.
Well, he's using his experience right now.
And now, Mitch Richmond looking to take over to try to seal it after being kept quiet most of the game by the Nuggets defense. Biggest lead for Sacramento, 5 points. Brian Stiff barrels in. Saves it, but to Randy Brown. Stiff out of bounds. And right now, nothing going right for the Denver Nuggets, and Dan Issel knows it.
Yes, I mean, he had a wide open layup that time and just missed it and then tipped it to the Sacramento player.
Great expectations, high expectations for the Nuggets team. But Dan Issel, Bernie Bickerstaff have been tempering those expectations. Continue to warn that, hey, we certainly look to have a great season, a fun season. This is a much improved team, but it is a young team.
And we were able to see that tonight by letting the Kings come back from the 17-point lead.
Ellis trying to get it away from Simmons. Now the Kings not using the clock. And Richmond from deep. And that sinking feeling for the young Denver Nuggets. It's been a 24-point turnaround. They led by as many as 17. They trail now by 7. And you talk about the ebb and the flow and the emotion of games. Mitch Richmond completely smothered early. And now just off the fingertips, wherever he may be, it finds the net.
Well, as you noticed at the beginning of the second half, they went right to Mitch Richmond. The first 2 out of 3 plays were for him. Coach St. Jean wanted to get him off. Didn't want him to have a second half have like he had the first half. And he's pretty much taken over the game right now, Al.
12 of his 19 points have come in the second half for Mitch Richmond. Let's check out the NBA scoreboard. 13 games in all going tonight. The Conoco scoreboard shows that the New York Knicks have beaten the Boston Celtics. Philadelphia over Washington. Atlanta a winner. Dominique at 33 points. Milwaukee wins in Cleveland in Mike Fratello's debut as head coach of the Cavs. Orlando by 20 in the Florida matchup in the Heat's backyard. Michael Jordan not in action this year. Chicago Bulls go down to the Hornets' nest and sting Charlotte by 1 in overtime. Detroit a winner over Minnesota in their debut of the season. Houston defeats New Jersey, and San Antonio in front of 35,000 in the Alamo Dome against injury-riddled Golden State. Utah defeated Dallas. Portland on the road against the Clippers. Clips, of course, in McNichols Arena on Sunday. And the Lakers leading Phoenix, the new-look Lakers, by 6 in the fourth quarter. 1:32 left. Nuggets down by 7. Scott Hastings now puts together that 7-point play.
Obviously a very critical time in the game. Maybe too late to do anything. Dan has ordered the troops to trap the ball everywhere. Full court, half court, wherever the ball goes this rest of the game.
Now, first they have to make the basket. Fifth, no field goals for the night. And the foul is on Denver. It is on LaFonso Ellis, his 4th. The crowd now in full force. And this one has turned into a bad dream for the Nuggets after such a terrific start. Well, if there's any consolation, the crowd was kept out of this game for most of the game.
Yes.
The Nuggets led 88-75 coming into the fourth quarter. They led by 13 points. Denver has scored 12 points in this fourth quarter. Sacramento has now scored. Trying to add this up. 33. 16 now for Simmons. Nuggets 3 3-pointers behind, and there's the man to look for it. Spud Webb gets in the way. Raouf from Threesville. Williams looking for somebody. Ellis forces. And it's now inside the minute. And the Sacramento Kings will spread the court. Playing without one of their top players, Walt Williams. The Kings with a spurt here in the fourth quarter to turn it around.
As reading the press clippings today, since the Kings have moved here to Sacramento, opening here at home, they're 4-1. On the road, they're 0-3. So the Nuggets, I thought, were doing an excellent job, but the momentum switched, like Scott Hastings said earlier.
Down to 33 seconds. Mutombo in traffic. Spud Webb scrambling. They call it on Mutombo. Reaching over, and it's Joe DeRosa who makes the call. 25 seconds to go. Nuggets starting 5 has essentially gone the entire fourth quarter. What looked to be the Nuggets on their way to a great start. Now they have to look ahead to nailing down victory number 1 Sunday night at McNichols Arena against the LA Clippers. And rally together, take a look at what went right and what went wrong in this ball game. Carswell has missed 4 of his 5 foul shots tonight. 25 points for Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. 23 points for Reggie Williams and Dikembe Mutombo, who's also added 17 rebounds. And leading the way for Sacramento Wayman Tisdale with 21 points. The oddity is Tisdale went out early in the fourth quarter with his 5th foul. It looked like Sacramento would be in trouble.
Yeah.
That was the last time that I just scored a field goal. Spud Webb will now just hold the ball and now dribble it out. And it is over. The Sacramento Kings rallied from behind. Outscore the Nuggets 34-12 in the fourth quarter and win the 1993-94 opening game 109-100, and the Kings are being serenaded by their faithful. Gary St. Jean sees his club come back from 17 points down. A trapping defense rattling the young Nuggets in the fourth quarter, and a come from behind victory for